I think we're live. All right. Who do we got? We got Ben, Steve, Yeti Mozzie, Chris, Retro Puffer, Trolls, Matt, Zach, Steve, Dennis Ellis, not Dallas Ennis. Gary Davlin, Ben Coombs, what's up, buddy? Good to see you again. Richard. Of course, we got Ben Tom. Yeah, my Ingve. Here's my Ingve. You want to know what it's like working in a music store? You can quote me. All right, who do we got? We got Terry 3G, Fiesta Pals, John Gregory. We got Eric. Gary Davin, what's up, dude? Speak up, what's up, dude? We got Terry. We got BC Rich, Rock and Rob. Dennis Ellis, not Dallas Ennis. It's a different dude. We got Coots. We got Gary. We got Vimps. We got everybody. DL. Can't leave this guitar out. My cats would be scratching that. They'd be like, "Oh, I love that texture. Oh, nice." If I put this on a guitar stand and this was vertical, my cat would sniff it for a little bit, and then they'd be like, "Oh, those grooves are nice." That's feeling good under the nails. Oh yeah, let me just work this a little bit. You gotta be careful with cats. Everything is a scratching post. Dennis Eckersley. Sure. Who do we got? Terry, Mark, Tactical. What's up, dude? Rock and Rob, Cushman, AI Gaming, Metal Theater. And, you like that one and you don't like Novos? Yeah. This was a gift and a very much appreciated one. Yeah, official cat proofs. Yeah. Oh no, seriously, you got to keep this away. The cat would look at that and go, "Oh," they'd get a paw up on it and get a little feel for it, and then be like, "Oh, sure." And it looks like these grooves are designed, form a paw, form a paw. Oh no, you can just see that. No. My cats, they're like, "Oh, we love it." Yeah, those are Illumitones. This is a handmade guitar by Hufschmid Guitars in Switzerland. It's the guy that makes my giant picks. The matching pick would be this one. A Torlon. Or something like that, which actually glows in the dark. It's like the only dark material that actually glows in the dark. It's a pine top, but it's actually a pretty kick-ass, sweet mahogany body. and mahogany neck. I can get it so low. It's just the top, just the tip. Just the top is pine. And then that's ebony, but of course it's the streaky ebony because there's been a move towards streaky. You know, he could have dyed it, you know, but he chose not to. But I think that, so he had built a guitar that used like a 110-year-old piece of pine. And then I think this was sort of a proof of concept. Could he just take a new piece of pine and make it look like that old one? Right? Sandblast it and give it the groovy look. Right? Make it look silver. I'm sure there's some sort of treatment that brings out that silvering. And I think this was sort of, you know, proof of concept that he could pull off a manufactured aged pine top. But this was one of the first guitars I got in 2024. That's why it's here first. I'm sensing a theme. Exactly, it just screams Tonewood. What the hell happened to the top? He distressed it. That is distressed on purpose. Again, I think he was just testing out his building skills, and he just wanted to see if he could make it look like the old piece of wood he had just done. But it's not an old piece of wood. It's a new piece of wood. Just kind of olded up. The back is, you know, he normally does like, you know, it's all flames and quilts with this guy on the tops. He's all flame tops and quilt tops. Again, this was just sort of a concept guitar for him. Just to see if he could pull it off. Yeah, the headstock is a lethal weapon. Tones have more to do with the tone than the pine. Yeah, pretty much every guitar is like that. The guitar is primarily a fashion accessory. What sort of pickup holder would you like? You want a blue one? You like a red one? You want it to be sort of rounded, a little bit more pointy? You know, the world is your oyster, man. Try and age the wood easily. You just use a vinegar mixed with steel. I'm sure he found a method and he wanted to try it. Again, yeah, you know, I'm sure. Just like you said, he found some way. You're like, how do you silver pine? And they're like, oh, you can do this, right? You find there's a recipe out there, and he wanted to do it. Strings, pickup, speakers. I would say the amp is a lot of your tone, which is why different amps sound different with the same guitar. The amp is primarily the colorization of the tone. When I go into the Focusrite, the primary selling point of the inputs is they're colorless. They add no tone, right? You're getting the pure sound of the guitar. The tone is all added in the software. But your amp is decidedly not that, which is why different brands sound different. If it was just mere amplification and not colorization, every amp company would sound the same. You'd literally just be raising the volume. But we know that's not true. What kind of guitar is that? This is a Hufschmid. Hufschmid. It's the guy. It's this guy. Let me show you. I'll show you. I'll show you the guy. I'll show you. Oh, I'll show you. What the heck is it? It should be right. Did I go past it already? You know what? This is a smaller res screen, so a lot more of the stuff gets pushed off the screen. I could have sworn it was pretty close. Right there. There it is. It's this guy. The guy who does the picks. All right. The guy from I'm sure he has a site dedicated just to the guitars, but this is what I know. Because I got friggin' obsessed with these picks. And I own a ridiculous amount of them. And I don't even play them. I have them on little stands in there on a display case. Yeah, deal with it. But then you get down here, gets into some more of his stuff. But yeah, it's Patrick Hufschmid. There he is, right there. He's wearing a mask because he's cutting something that's probably not good for your lungs. So, that was a pre-pandemic mask. All right, he's got to wear the respirators when you're cutting this stuff. It's decidedly not good for you. Yeah, Ben Coombs, I've been teaching for about a year at this time. Yeah. I hear you. No, that headstock will, it gets to the point. It is pointedly aggressive. It is, yeah, something to take the bass player or the drummer out with. I said 12/8. Forgot which key I was in. All of them. I'm in all the keys. Kind of a Schecter with an old LTD, sure. This was a guitar from early this year. Got this one right around the time I was out at NAMM. We were emailing back and forth, and it showed up maybe a week or two after I got back from the NAMM show. And I'm going to NAMM again. I just got my badge, so I'm all happy about going. Doo-doo. You got a crappy email from a guitar store in Texas for leaving a 4-star review on Reverb for taking 6 days to ship. Yeah, you know what? When I sell something on Reverb, if there's any chance I can ship it like that day, I always do. And then the other thing I do is I sort of box it up right away. I'm not going to play. It's like if I have a guitar up for sale on Reverb, I'm not going to play the guitar for risk of damaging it. I usually get it all packed up and ready to go, and I'm just waiting for someone to actually buy it. And then it's sort of ready to go. It's in the box. It's all sealed up except for the one end, right? Which I leave to put the invoice in. And then I seal it up with the last little bit of stuffing and ship it off. And I try to get it into commerce like the same day. And I can just tell you this, buyers appreciate that. Because I know that I get pissed off when I'm sitting there going like, dude, I ordered a guitar from Guitar Center on like, I want to say Sunday night. And they didn't process the shipment until Tuesday. So Monday, nothing happened. But they didn't get it into commerce until Wednesday night, right? It's another thing. Your label has been created. And so I wound up not seeing it until like, I want to say Thursday or Friday. And I was like, I could have seen this early if you could just get off your ass and ship this thing. Why couldn't you ship this? I literally bought it on Sunday. You couldn't ship this thing on Monday? Oh, the dude who does shipping isn't until like Wednesday. It's like, that's what you're dealing with. I do not like it when dudes sit around and get around to shipping. Hey, what's up, Tony? Welcome. So usually when I sell something on Reverb, if it's at like 3 o'clock in the afternoon, by 4:30, I'm sending them an email. I just dropped your box off. Give it a few hours and the tracking will update. It'll give you a date of delivery. Because usually, I would say 99 out of 100 times on Reverb needs a signature. If it's over $100, and let's face it, if it's under $100, what are you selling on Reverb for? It's like, it's a waste of time, and money. Local sale, much better. But for the bigger item, dollar stuff, I do like to just get it right the frick out the door. Let's go. Yeah. You know what? Guitar Center can be... The thing about Guitar Center is you can go treasure hunting there. And you can pluck out some really good deals. But you got to be quick. You got to be there when they update their stock. And, it used to be it would update it around between 10 and 11 a.m. But that seems to have changed now. But you could go on there around 10 to 11 a.m. every day and start refreshing until it went from, 71,000 items to 76,000 items, and you know the stock just came through. And now if you were looking for a particular guitar, it's time to start looking for it because it might have just shown up in the overnight, right? Whatever the update was from the overnight listings. Things that pretty much go off the 60-day wait period. So you can really score. But, like you say, a lot of times I'll see I know what they're trying to do, but that whole S2 series by PRS really screwed up Guitar Center because those dudes don't understand the concept of S2, right? And they're like, it's a PRS McCarty. No, it is a PRS McCarty S2. And you have it up for a price, which would be a good price if it was a McCarty. But it's literally $300 more than this McCarty sold for new. Because it's an S2. It's not a regular. They screw up between the S2 series like almost nonstop. So that's been, the good side is that, sometimes you go on there, you're pulling out guitars that sold for $3,000. You're getting them for $700-800 because they think it's a standard Strat and it's actually some friggin' custom high-end AVRI or Select Strat. I got my Select Strat for $899. That's ridiculously low for that. So you just listen, you roll with it, you understand what you're dealing with, and if you're in the right place at the right time, you can really score. I mean really score. But, You gotta be at the ready. The only good thing about Guitar Center also is that if it shows up and it isn't what they say, I can usually go back and talk them into giving me all my money back, including my shipping. Because I say, like, dude, this was listed as this, and it's not that. And they're like, okay. And I get the full amount back. If it's just that I get it and I'm like, it doesn't really look that good. Or if it's defective in any way. I bought a keyboard one time, and one of the keys was broken. They didn't want to give me the shipping back. I said, well, I think a broken key would be poor condition, right? It lacks functionality. And they're like, yeah, I guess. I said, you had it listed in great condition? I think a broken key is no. They're like, all right. And they give me my shipping back. What's up, RJ? I always pick up a store. You know, I was doing that for the longest time. I would always get it shipped to the store. And a lot of times I'd open the guitar up and I'd be like, whoa, no, yikes. I ordered a Kramer custom 1, custom 2, like an 87 or an 88, custom 1, custom 2, right? Single, double. I think that's the custom 1. Now I forget now. Custom 1 might be a single pickup and the custom 2 is the single, double. Anyway. It was like a custom 1 or a custom 2. Kramer, American, which wasn't made in America, made in Japan. But listen, it's just words. So, and I got there, and someone had taken a Dremel to the serial number that was etched into the back of the plate. And I was like, well, that's not a good sign. The guy's like, why not? Because it means it was stolen. Someone took a Dremel to the serial number? Figure it out, Sherlock. It's a stolen guitar. And when he couldn't get it completely removed, he drilled a hole through the center of it and sunk a 5th screw. Oh, all your best, neck plates have 5 bolts, bro. What's going on here? Did I get a Les Paul that had been oversprayed? Something happened to it. Something got sprayed on it. In fact, I was looking at those photos recently, and you can literally see it's all pitted. That's what the texture is. If you look closely, it was hitting with something, and every droplet that hit it, almost like hairspray, there was a pit. It had dissolved the surface of the, right? It dissolved the surface of the finish. It was really weird. Happy New Year, Steve from Dublin. Happy New Year. We're getting there. We're getting so close. More likely contamination before the top coat fisheye. No. Too sharp. Fisheyes, I know the fisheye thing. That's actually softer to the touch. This was way too sharp, right? Because it's underneath a layer, fisheyeing. Also, it was on the pickups. Whatever did it also melted a little bit of the pickup. It was some solvent. It was because it was on the pickups, and you could see it also on the chrome. But the chrome, you could wipe it off, or you could do something with it. But it was on the pickups. It was on the pickup. It was on the pick guard. It was on the pickups. No, that thing got hit with something. Someone was doing something somewhere and whacked it with something. Yeah, put an Apple AirTag on it. I think they're about to do a big refresh on that product line, so maybe hold up for CES and see what comes up. Yeah, it could be like acetone. That's what I felt like. That's what it felt like. It felt like acetone. Something like that. You could almost see the splat, right? Because it comes in a direction and goes out at another direction on a microscopic level, right? One side is, right, it's not perfectly circular or even oval. There's almost like a teardrop, like, look to it. And there was a ring around the edge, a lot of them, right? That tells me someone saw it and went, oh shit, and wiped it off. But they couldn't get the edge of the droplets dried first. Oh, that old story. With a 50 style Les Paul vintage neck, Alto One's playing style if accustomed to thinner necks. Maybe a little bit. You'd have to try it and see if you like it. What I find is that you just get used to it. What you'll find is that most guitar players, if you've been playing long enough, you might prefer a certain size neck, but you can play any size neck. It's just a bit more of a chore. I don't like some of the big thick necks. I just don't, or especially a wide neck, I don't really care for. I don't mind it front to back. It's side to side when they get really wide, like classical. Kind of throws me off more. And then when it just comes down to it, you don't play them as much. Because as good as that guitar matches your outfit, it's a bit of a chore to play. Right? And remember, I can't stress this enough, the guitar is primarily a fashion accessory. So, if you just find another guitar that matches your outfit, and you'll be good. Oh wow, we have new members. Oh my God, who do we have? We have R.J. Ronquillo. Shame. Steve Rezer. Shame. Friday Thrifters. You thought thrifting was shameful. Now 1,000 years of shame. Kabbalah la 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 list. Can't pronounce that shit. And for that, shame. And CJ. Shame. 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 It's a shame song. What, the bell sound? The bell sound, you cross over 2 strings. The best 2 to cross over are the D and the G, because one's plain and one... You can do it on any 2 strings. But it will sound the best if you use the G and the D, because one is wrapped and one is plain. That's going to sound better. If you do it closer up the neck, it's going to be a high-pitched bell. If you do it closer down the neck, it's going to be a low-pitched bell. And the bell will sound bigger. So you go way down and you literally flip the strings over there. I've crossed the streams. They're crossed over. Hold on. We got to go to string cam. You know that? I'm switching the... See that? I switched them over, and then you got to... Then it's just a simple plucking motion. Shame. 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 You do have to cross the streams. So I have other guitars here from the year. Is it time to change to a new guitar from the year? Now that we're... How many minutes in? 33 minutes in? Hold on. According to my research, this was the next guitar. Ooh. Locking trem. There we go. You know what? It's amazing how much energy come out of those Alumatones. Because these are Duncan, what is it, like the Black Winter set? It's like the Pegasus and like the Narcissist or something. And man, they need a lot more power. A lot more. You got your open pore poplar barrel top. Reminds me of a boil I once popped. Yeah, apparently, well, certainly lower output than the Alumatones. Clearly, the Alumatones are putting out some. They're putting out some Henrys, some Allrys. Nazgul, not as. You know what? They should rebrand it. I'm just telling you right now. I think it's the Sentient. The Sentient in the Pegasus. Does the Pegasus become sentient? So do I plan on buying this? I have no plans right now. I have been, I've been going a little overboard on Christmas. How'd you guys do for Christmas? Anything good? I got, and I'm not even kidding right now, a stainless steel tweezer set. Yeah. Yeah. I can feel the jealousy right now. You heard me. A robust stainless steel tweezer set from Harbor Freight. Damn straight, bro. And a lot of other crap from Harbor Freight. My wife basically goes into Harbor Freight and takes everything off the dollar shelf and throws it in the thing. There you go. Merry Christmas. Winning. Exactly. Thoughts on Plexi amps? Ever owned one? I've never owned one. To be honest, if I'm being, I think the rig I'm going through right now is a Brit 87. I think that's a Plexi. Right? I think that's either that or it's 87 was the Silver Jubilee, but I don't think it is the Silver, because I have a separate one called the Silver Jubilee. I just think it's like whatever the big amp was in 87. Exactly. Tweezers that won't rust. Oh, Oh, thank you. Zircon encrusted? Oh, you wish. No. What else did I get? Got like a cable tester. Got a magnetic LED light. What else? I got a set of polishing cloths. Oh. God. Let's see. What did I buy my wife? A brand new Hewlett-Packard laptop, the latest iPad. Bought my son the latest Apple Watch. My daughter the latest Galaxy Watch. No, I'm good. I'm fine. I am fine. Do. I'd start playing until 97. I was 31 in 97. Or the new Behringer 69 Univibe pedal, nice. I got a couple pedals and some semi-major home construction renovations. There you go. Home equity loan, no gear for you. Yeah, I hear you. It's based on an 87. It's a 50-watt head based on the 59 Super Lead 100. Yeah. That's the amp I'm going through right now is literally called the Brit 87. And I swear it's based off of whatever the top amp was by Marshall in 87, but not the Silver Jubilee. A decibel meter, some lasers, and a Tonex. Oh, that's nice. Your wife is going to be putting that decibel meter on. We agreed no higher than 79. You'd be like, I hate that decibel meter. I got my hubby a Milwaukee reciprocating saw. Those are always great. I have a Milwaukee too. I think the Milwaukee is the best of the reciprocating saws. And then you can buy one for $20 out of Harbor Freight, but it might die halfway through the job. The Milwaukee one, I got to admit, is a friggin' really nice saw. Once I bought the Milwaukee one, I haven't had to buy another one. Other than my Ryobis and whatever they sell at Pittsburgh. No, I'm trying to think of the. Oh, it's on the tip of my tongue too. You know that brand. One of those little Fender jack style amps haven't arrived yet, but should be somewhat entertaining. Nice. 92, 6100. LM Anniversary Marshall. Oh, that's nice. Got a black and white EVH striped. Nice. Plays like butter. Pretty sweet. That's nice. Can't go wrong with EVH. We'll go over the guitars of the year a little bit. What's up, Matt? No higher than 110 dB. Really like the Milwaukee 18-volt fuel stuff. You know what? I don't do the... I have very few items that have a rechargeable battery because the battery is never freaking charged when I need it to be. You know what's always charged? The wall socket. It's always full of electricity. I can just plug into that. And zzz, all afternoon I can run. I tend to use plug-in items when I can. I do have a few things that charge up. I do have some outdoor power tools that charge up, but man, I try to avoid those. It's just too frustrating. I like lose my shit. I did get earmuffs, actually. I got the ones that are that kill the noise, right? They're noise isolation, right? For outdoor, for doing loud shit. They're loud shit ear protectors. Come on, where's the marketing? Bought myself an Emperero 2-stage for Christmas. Ironically, I used the tone cache made for my atomic amplifier. Right, the amplifier, right. Sounds better than the stage, so nice. You have a bank of charges, yeah, and the batteries. Long time listener, first time commenter. Well, welcome, Matt. We're rolling out the welcome, Matt. They write themselves, people. Did you keep the Player Plus Strat? I did not. That's a good one, too. You guys want to go through the guitars? You want to go through the, the guitars of the year? We can do it. You know what? I did a tiny bit of prep for today's show. Yeah, it's the most prep I've ever done. Is it time for a? Is it time for a slideshow? Yes, yes, it is. Now, do you get the whole? Yeah. That's good enough. Yeah. That's pretty good. All right. It starts out at NAMM. I'm heading out to NAMM. There I am, first day. You can see the auditorium in the background. That's a different building, other than the two massive buildings that I'm in. And I'm actually in the catwalk between. That's the catwalk between the two buildings. I'm just saying, it's pretty freaking huge. You know who I saw on this catwalk one time? The drummer for Iron Maiden, who just retired, Nico McBrain. He was like right where this area is. Talking with someone I know, I took a photo. I remember this. You get those windows are distinct for the NAMM show. I got the old Ibanez booth. Music Man, I want to say. Right, those look like Stingray basses. Yeah, because that's the new Rabia. You know? Yeah, I'm on the catwalk. I'm boutique distribution. But I didn't see my buddy Joe Morgan there. I did see Dave Friedman, but no Morgan. There I am holding what would be the new Vola, God, what was the name of that? That was the Keen machine. The Mean Green Keen machine. And there was the J-Fro. They just came out with new colors for that. They just came out with like a burgundy mist. You know, it's a black and I want to say a pink. In addition to the white, which you see there, and a sunburst. So They're expanding the color line for the J-Fro. That was at the Chapman booth. I think that was the new Steel Panther, like custom guitar that they were, right? This was this year. This is less than a year ago. This is the guy with the twisted neck bass. Remember this guy? Remember that? Remember when a twisted neck was a bad thing? You know? Yeah, I'm looking thin in that photo. Relatively speaking, I have a waist slimming coat on. Balaguer guitars. Back in the Ibanez booth, a little bit more Ibanez. That's the Donner one. I have one of those. Yeah, it's a really nice guitar for short money. Really good. I think they're like $350, $400, something like that. That's the one you just saw. This one. This was like when I got back from the NAMM show. It showed up like a week or two later. Right there. The old Hufschmid. Oh, here. First guitar for Guitar of the Week. Really like that one. One of my favorites of the year. It just freaking looked good. I mean, you got to admit, looks pretty good. No, pretty good. That was the next one. That was the Schecter. Great playing guitar. Real nice. Of course, it has the Sustainiac. And then we did the Charvel, right? That's the San Dimas Pro Mod with the Duncan pickups. That was nice. A fun guitar. That had like a thin skin finish. Reminded me of my American Pro Strat. Right, where they don't do a big undercoat. The ESP LTD. God forbid that you don't give the LTD, the ESP people be LTD, bro. You didn't spend $3,500. You spent $1,500, so you don't get to say ESP. You have to say ESP LTD. Okay. You didn't buy the ESP by itself. You bought it with the asterisk of LTD. Okay, bro. That was the first time I had ever had the Music Man Sterling line here. And the first time I had ever tried out Petrucci. Had crazy, like, overdrive. Had a crazy, you know what I'm saying? It, like, had this, like, boost, like a 12 dB boost. That was a crazy guitar. I really liked it. I just, you better be ready. That boost took me by surprise. I was like, damn. I liked the Fender too. I really liked that Fender. I believe that was a Ventera 2. I don't think it was a 7¼ inch radius though. I want to say that was a 9.5, so slightly more modern than like the vintage Sierra, the straight up vintage stuff. But that was nice. Again, another one of the Telly. The one I'm playing. These are in order. I literally added them to the slideshow based on when they showed up. So this was here before that was here, right? This showed up. This the Aries. They also make this if you don't like the rustic poplar burl look with the, with the satin finish. They make it in a glossy flame top or a glossy quilt top. You don't have to get the more rustic look. You can get the more polished look, if you will. The neck on these is killer, and I love all the Goto hardware. The Yamaha. First time I had a Pacifica here. from the new line. The only Pacificas I've had before are the older ones from the 90s. I didn't have a new one. It was the first time, a new one had shown up, and I was like, I was impressed by it, and I believe it had Duncan pickups. Thought it sounded pretty good. I gotta say, this guitar was impressive. I really like the Silver Sky. This is one of the few guitars that I said, am I going to buy one of these? I didn't because, money. But I thought the Silver Sky SC, I really freaking love this guitar. I don't know. There was just something about it. I like a Strat. I thought the pickup sounded really good. And you know what? On a good day, you can get one for like $4.99. $5.50 tops used. So, I was just like, yeah, God, am I going to buy one? But I didn't. Oh, the V. I would say that this one caused more of a stir than, do I have a back shot? Yeah, more of a stir than any other guitar up to that point. People love this V. I love this V too. I will say one thing about this V when I was playing it. First of all, it wasn't perfect. You can see, I thought the knobs were a little high, but that might be able to be adjusted, right? See how high the knobs are off the body? But other than that nitpicking, the guitar was very resonant. And maybe it's just due to the sheer length of it, but you could really feel that thing vibrating. I was like, damn, this is, what a beast, And they were like, what, $6.99, $5.99, $6.49? They're not an expensive guitar. That really was, I think, a little bit of a milestone in the Guitar of the Week series, that guitar there. And then I immediately followed it up with another PRS I got in the narrow field. I called them near field. All the PRS people were losing their shit. It's narrow field, you fucking dummy. It's like, yeah, whatever. Well, they should have called it near field. Yeah, right, a giant tuning fork. And this was, I think at the time, my lowest, have I had a guitar? I might have had a Kramer in a little bit less than this, but now we're getting into like, this guitar was like, what, $3.99? Right, so we're getting down there. These are all like $7.99, $8.99, right? Even this is up, $5.99 or so. Now we're getting down to like $3.99 or like $4.49, something like that. Right? I really like that guitar. If I had to make one change on this guitar, it played great. And I wasn't crazy about the light color. Again, just pure cosmetics. I wish they would dye the fretboard a little darker. I just think it would match the black hardware, right? I just think it would match better. It's a pure, just cosmetic thing. I wish it had a darker fretboard. But, you can't get everything. The Lamborghini guitar. There's a bit of controversy. That's when I started like naming. I stopped saying like, when I put this one on, I'm like, Gibson. I'm doing like PRS, Silver Sky. By the time I get here, I'm like, can a guitar be like a Lamborghini? Right, I'm starting to change the thing. The numbers went up when I started doing that. And stop showing the guitar. If you show the guitar, you don't get clicks. People make a decision before they click. If you show the box, people click because they want to see what the guitar is. It's like Clickbait 101. Oh, the bass. Yeah, that thing was rough. Did not last. Lasted all of like a day or two, and I brought it right back. Shot the video and brought it back. And now I have the Vola bass, which is freaking awesome. So, I've sort of fallen out. Though I will say, let me see if it's still there. I will say, I was kind of smitten by this one. That's an OG Kramer. Right? It's the old Forum 3. It's a little rough. It's got some screws in the headstock because the guy put a string tree in. The nut, it was I think, cut by Helen Keller. So, it's it's a little rough, but it's got a rare ebony fretboard. These were almost all rosewood, and that's not rosewood. That is ebony. And what they would do is, right, that's ebony all day. That's not rosewood. And what would happen is they just had ebony. They just would have it, and they'd be like, use up whatever is left. But anyway, we'll go back here. That was on Reverb. No, yeah, you know what? That was one of the lowest ones too. That's a Squire Classic Vibe. These are the made in Indonesia ones. Now, that you got to remember, the ones that were made in China were loved. People friggin' love those Chinese made. In fact, they've shot up in value because people didn't like the quality of the Indonesian ones at first. But I think it's all fine. I didn't find any flaws with it. I thought it was a fine guitar. That's a fine guitar, Jack. The Vola. God, I love that Vola. I play that Vola a lot. This particular one, I play quite a bit. I don't know. I like the color. I like the neck. I like the single, double. It's actually one of my most played guitars. Oh, Flamey McFlameface. Yep. That was a score. That was one of those things where I was looking at a Charvel Model 6, and it was $12.99, and I said, well, before you buy this Model 6 for $12.99, why don't you see what other guitars are around like 12, 13, right around the same money? And this one was. I was like, why would you buy the Charvel, that's a copy of this guitar, which is the Jackson, when you could just get the Jackson, the DK1. And so that's what I did. I got the Jackson, which is made in USA, but is not custom shop, as people pointed out. It's not custom shop, bro. All right, calm down, dude. Calm down. People do get friggin' defensive. Next up was the PRS Swamp Ash guitar. I like this guitar. I just felt like the color in the grooves there that they do that, sort of sandblasted look with the color in the grooves, that needed to be fluorescent. So you could put it under a black light and that color would glow. But it wasn't fluorescent. It was kind of lame, actually. And I just felt like it was an opportunity lost. I'll bet if you had the Charvel one, Charvel makes it almost the exact same thing with a sandblasted ash top, and they put the color in. Vola used to do the same thing. Basically, they paint the guitar black, thick coat of black. Then they put a very thin coat of this green on. And then using a sanding sponge, they sand it down. And then the stuff down in the grooves doesn't get hit by the sanding sponge and stays intact. And the stuff right up at the top, gets down to the black layer. Right? And the only stuff left is the stuff that's down below the surface. It's a cool look, but again, that paint had to be fluorescent. Without being fluorescent, it feels like a massive opportunity lost. Exactly. It's just science. The EVH. I like this guitar. I think I wasn't as crazy about the satin color. If I was going to get one of these, I would almost certainly get the metallic blue one, if you've ever seen that one. I think that's a really good looking guitar. But they didn't have a metallic blue one on the clearance shelf. Right? I like to work off the clearance shelf. They don't make me do that. I can order a couple of those PRSs were brand new because they didn't have one in the clearance shelf. So, some of them they send me are brand new, but I try not to do that because I feel like it puts a lot of pressure on me not to scratch it. People are like, why don't you take the plastic off? It's like, because it's for the dude who buys it. It's like, you want to make it look, keep it as intact as possible. So if they had this one in the blue, I probably would have tried the blue one out with the glossy metallic. Thought that was a good color. But that was a great guitar. You know, again, I'm just talking cosmetics here. Nothing, you know, functional about the guitar. It was a great playing and sounding guitar. I liked it a lot, actually. The Kramer. Jesus, what a great value. I think these were $229 with a Floyd Rose. I mean, come on. I think they were more money and they were on a bit of a blowout. But, I mean, I think it just at like $229. Yeah, you're not even going to get anything close to that for that. With a Floyd Rose, you're insane. They're usually about $299, maybe $350. And again, when you're super price sensitive, when you start to get down to those numbers, every $10 means a lot. You get down to $229. You know, it goes from a lot of no's to a lot of yeses. They're like, you know, I think I've spent more at dinner. I didn't think this looked on camera as great as it looked in person, and I think the blue one looked better. That's just my assessment. This is a great playing guitar. Again, we're mainly looking at fashion accessories here. So, as a fashion accessory, I thought they could have... I thought it didn't pop as much as I thought it was going to pop. Can there be such a thing as a muted sparkle? It kind of was. A little bit. I think compared to the blue one. And I think it's maybe because it was just too light of a color, where the blue one was darker, so the sparkles popped more against the backdrop. You know what I'm saying? Oh, the Aurora Borealis. Remember this thing? I'm out in the back. I just happen to be in the freaking backyard. And I'm looking up, I'm like, what the hell is that? Like, the weirdest cloud I've ever seen. I finally called my wife. I'm like, I don't think that's a cloud. I think it's the friggin' Northern Lights. Look at this thing. And we had the Northern Lights. We also had the eclipse. I don't think I showed a picture of the eclipse. The Gretsch. That, you know, again, I kind of like the guitar. I certainly love the look of it. I mean, it looks really classic right there. It was screwing me up with the master volumes. The guitar was almost too complicated for my brain. I was like, losing me. But I love the bumper-looking tailpiece, right? Looks like the bumper on an old car. I thought that kicked ass, right? Again, primarily a fashion accessory. That was the Kramer. Next guitar up was the Kramer Pacer. And pick that up. The old Kramer American. Right there. Oh, yeah. Quite nice. Oh, and then the Fender. That was the 70s, right? Deluxe with the two humbuckers. The old 70s Deluxe. That was a great player too. And that's what a Telly was to me when I was a kid. Right? When I was a kid, like there were the old Tellys from like the 50s and then like the new modern ones that look like this. Like, oh, you got to get a new one. Probably could have walked out with like a 62 Telly for like next to nothing at the flea market. Like $150. I went to go see Steel Panther, and I have some good news about the Steel Panther show. As you may remember, when I went to the Steel Panther show, I went back out to my car to find a $60 parking ticket on it. And I was going to just pay it, and then I said, you know what? I'm a pretty good letter writer. Let me write a letter. So I wrote a letter explaining how it was very confusing and how I thought that, you know, we weren't in a parking area that was designated as, they got me for resident parking only. And first of all, you have to say, so, who's living around here? Okay, you're on the side of goddamn the Mass Pike. You're down on Industrial Road, but okay. But then why do you have meters? So anyway, I made my case, and I just got my reply from the city of Boston. They have dismissed the ticket. I don't have to pay anything. All done. So, it was nice. It was a nice, it was worth it to write the letter. Because I didn't have to pay the parking ticket. My parking ticket was, as I say, dismissed. That was the Axis, right? The John Butcher Axis? No. Axis Bold as Love? No. The Sterling Axis AX3. Oh, thank you, Frank. Thanks for always keeping it real, SFB. Oh, thank you. Thank you very much. Very much appreciated. Did I write it in cursive? No, I actually typed it. I had all I could do to keep from putting it on letterhead. Don't make me pull out the letterhead. So I was pretty happy. I was pretty happy about that because I didn't want that. That extra ticket. And then, then we had a couple of guitars. We had the Epiphone flame top that had no flames. You couldn't see it. Just like this friggin' guitar is a flame top. You can barely see the flames. But man, it was hard to see. My Ghost flames had more flames. You want to talk a flame top? Check out the Harley Benton. Now that's a flame top, bro. That's real nice. Nice flames, bro. But yeah, it was pretty dark on the quote-unquote flame top. Oh, this is when I went. You want to talk flame tops? This is when I went to Guitar Center with Speaker and our other buddy there. We were walking around, and I tell you, the photos don't do it justice. That guitar looked like 3 feet deep on the top. It was quite the looker. If I was going to buy myself a guitar, I'd probably get that one. But no, I'm not doing it. Not gonna. And then this is it. That's the final guitar of the year. Although I guess the Ibanez came after that, right? I guess the Ibanez, which I don't have a photo of, is the final one. The Ibanez was the... Oh, what the hell was that? That was the... that one with the guitar, with the strings and the tuners, the pickups. You remember that one? Yeah, that one. Anyway, that is the guitars of 2024. Oh, Jeffrey, thank you, man. Thank you very much. Hold on. Thank you, man. Thank you very much. That's very nice. Should we switch to another guitar? Hold on. Jackson. Sounds pretty good. I forgot I put a low friction knob on this. I love it. Now for a little country and western. Exactly. Feels a little out though, doesn't it? Better. Boy, it's loud though. Steve just got a Jackson Special Edition JS22. There you go. Dinky 7-string. Look at you. The 7 strings confuse me. They hurt my brain. I have one 7-string and I still look at it and go, I'm out. I got nothing. They're like, it's just one more string. I'm like, that's enough. You lose me. Exactly. Flaming McFlameface. Oop. Wrong cam. Cambot. Oh, yeah. Oh, sure. Eight strings makes your brain hurt even more. Yeah, I can't do more strings. The only thing I can do is 12 strings. This is the same thing. Did you guys see my my acoustics guitar video the other day? One dude was like, you should get a 12 string. I can't believe you don't own a 12 string. And I'm just thinking to myself, did you watch the video? I'll give it some serious thought. Have you ever tried Amplitude 5? I have. You know, Amplitude should be awesome. You know, they have a good pedigree and everything, but Guitar Rig and Amplitude, they just, you know, it feels like that they were a thing, but THU is just, I think, overtaken them, and now Tonex, and now you've got, what's that, Nimbrini or whatever the hell that is. There's so many different ones out there now. It's a lot of competition. I thought the acoustics were members only. They were, but I released it to the public, to the public library. That is good. Speaking of that, I got an email from THU saying THU 2 is coming out. I bet it drops at NAMM. So I'll go see my buddies over at Ilio. I'll say, what the dealio, Ilio? And see if I can check out the new THU Deuce. Oh, thank you, James. Yeah, Neural DSP, that's, yeah, the other one there. Cheers, Steve. Thanks for making us Saturday nights and Monday mornings that much better, my friend. Oh, thank you. To 2025, yeah. Yeah, no, it was members only. You're correct. It was members only, but I switched it. So I think you can click on it and it will say this was a members only video, but now it's available to everybody. I think Stevie T got like a 40 string, right? Something stupid. Just checking the comments here a little bit. THU is a free upgrade if you have TH Premium, but you had to buy it within a certain period. And then I think everyone else, it'll be what, a nominal upgrade, right? It'll be like a $50 upgrade or something, right? It won't be, you know, full price. But I think, I doubt it'll be free. I'll bet it will be free, like if you bought it within like the last like week or two. Like within the 30 days leading up to the release, you'll get a free upgrade. Or 60 days leading up to the release. But I don't think they do before that. I think it's going to be like a $29 upgrade or a $49 upgrade fee. Right now, I want to say THU is half price, and it includes the free upgrade to THU 2. So if you were on the fence about getting THU, check it. I don't know if they got rid of that half off deal, but you can check. If it's half off, it'll be half off at Sweetwater and Zounds and whoever else sells THU. You should be able to get it for when it's half off at the factory. It's half off everywhere, so you should be able to get the half off price. And it's usually around like $149, $159, $169, somewhere in that range. No, you rock, Paul. Tara says, Merry Christmas and Happy New Year, Steve, from Lincolnshire, England. Hello, hello. Remember when 10 years ago it was Pixie? Yeah. Yeah. I think Jared Dine started out as They Charge, right? Tone King started out as like MSR Junior or something like that. Robert Baker started out as like R Guitar. There's been a change over the years. Julio sells THU directly, yeah. And usually they follow the sales. Right, so if it goes on sale at the head office, it'll be on sale at Ilio as well. With all these up, I do. just saying, if Jimmy Page was still alive, he'd probably be playing a Jackson. I'm thinking about buying the, the Christie's catalog for the Jeff Beck collection. It's $40, 40 quid actually. So it'll be $50-something. I'd have to see what the exchange rate is. But you can go to Christie's and you can get the catalog for all of the gear for sale. It's quite a bit. I thought the Tina Turner guitar was priced a little low. At they were of course the Oxblood they're estimating the most for. The Jeff Beck Guitar Collection. And then you can get, and there's the highlights. They're expecting, and these are in pound sterling. Oh, fuck off. It's they're talking 350 to 500,000 on the Oxblood. 40 to 60,000 on the and that's for a 59, known as the Yardburst. 100 to 150,000 for the Telegib. Of course, he doesn't have the original one. He traded to friggin' Seymour Duncan that was used on a lot of famous songs. One of his Strats, a composite solid body electric guitar, so that means it's a parts caster. 50 to 80,000. 50 to 80,000 for the Tele. 50 to 80,000 for the white. Now you wonder, is that the guitar he used at the Ronnie Scott's show? I don't know. You'd have to look it over and see if there's, what are the markings. But this, they have $8,000 to $12,000. I'm like, really? $8,000 to $12,000? I'm just saying, it's got Tina Turner. This is on the cover of a couple of magazines. It's kind of a famous guitar. I just felt like $8,000 to $12,000 was just very low for that guitar. I thought, it's going from, 50 to 80. I would have thought 30 to 50. They're like, no, $8,000 to $12,000. Well, thanks, Nelson. Happy New Year. Oh, Christ. And then there's a bunch of miscellaneous, 2,000 to 3,000, 8,000 to 12,000 for a Gretsch, 20,000 to 30,000 for one of his, white Strats. Again, I don't know where this was used. And then he's got a lot of stuff though. And then his pedal board. That was his last touring pedal board in 2022. That's it. You can own Jeff Beck's last pedal board. JB Sr. Look at that. $3,000 to $5,000. Yeah, I think it seems that the executive people hate Kaler that much. Yeah, apparently. Yeah, apparently. Because man, they're it seems to be a bit of a struggle. Now, what I want is this. 40 quid. Get yourself the the Jeff Beck guitar collection, if I was going to get anything, it's on pre-order right now. So, if I, the one thing I can afford from this auction is the catalog. So, there we go. Yeah, I just got a catalog. It's about the only thing I can afford. Exactly 40 squids. It seems cheap for the board, but again, those are just estimates. And you've seen it where they're like, they estimate the painting will sell for $40,000, and it sold for $1.3 million. Exactly 40 quidditch. You get a second mortgage out. The best is, right, when Homer buys the plow, and they run his mortgage through the scanner for it, right? Takes out a loan against his house, and it goes, "You are on your 5th mortgage," and he's like. So about a 26% upcharge, and don't forget, you probably also have to pay a auction fee, right? Plow King was Barney, and of course he had his theme song done by Linda Ronstadt. It's like, Linda Ronstadt. He's like, we've been looking to do a project together for a while. Oh, never change. That name again is Mr. Plow. You're fully licensed and bonded by the city, right, Mr. Plow? Shut up, boy. Ah. Yeah, Kurt Cobain acoustic was estimated between $1 to $2 million, and it went for $6 million. Yeah, Barney's film entry. Did something crawl inside of you and die? It didn't die. Ah, too funny. Oh, I got got myself a new little mini PC. My second mini. Did not spend a lot of money. Very cautious. As you know, a year ago, just about a year ago, I think it was in November of last year, I picked up a little more fine mini PC with an N100 chip, which is kind of like a Celeron, the old celery chips, as we used to call them. And it's fine. It works good. I use it as a print server, and it's been pretty good. So I was looking to get a second one. I just got rid of this Lenovo tower I've been using since 2016. I finally moved. I had this like network system on there, that I had to move off, which I did. And I migrated it to a new PC, which is, it sounds more complicated than it is because of security. But I got it going. So I got it moved over to the new PC, so I can retire that. And then I needed like a little desk PC over there. So I picked this up. It's a, unlike the M9, this is a little more powerful, not a lot more money though. The M9 was $159 with the N100, and I want to say 16 gigs of DDR5 or DDR4, might have been DDR4, and like 500 megs of storage, and you know, its value is really in that it runs all day on like 6 watts, right? This is not. This is more like 40 watts, 40 to 60 watts, right? So a little more, definitely takes more power. But this has a real i3 in it, a 1220p, which instead of 4 Gracemont cores like that N100 has, it has 8 Gracemont cores, so twice as many Gracemont cores, and 2 Golden Cove cores, which are the power cores. So it's got 10 cores, 8 Gracemont and 2 Power Cove, and those Power Cove are way stronger than Gracemont. So it's really like just a much, much faster system. The downside is that it's got the upside is it's got 24 gigs of RAM instead of 16 gigs of RAM. The downside is that, and it's DDR5, and it's a pretty high refresh rate DDR5. The downside is that it's soldered on the motherboard. There's no upgrading it. You can upgrade the storage, but you can't upgrade the RAM. So one downside. But the other upside is the video on it is like infinitely stronger. We'll open it up. It's infinitely stronger than that. It's got like 3 times as many processing cores, like twice as many shading cores. It's like, it's a much stronger video card. And it wasn't much more money. So the one from last year was $159, which is, you know, that's decent. It comes with Windows 11 Pro. For Christ's sakes, Windows 11 Pro would cost you that much money. Pull the wrapper up. This was $100 more. So instead of $159, $259. But it's a lot faster. Just single core performance is almost double, let alone multi-core, and it's got a lot more cores. Does this slide out through the side? Is this a side slider? Tis. Hey. Hello, hello, hello. Oh. I've been getting one for a TV box. This is going to be a sort of a like a gaming, a light, like a emulation station / media center, right? Because it can rip through 4K video like no problem, but what you can't do is like 4K gaming on it, right? If you're looking to play PC games, go get yourself a gaming machine. But you know, there we go. You know, nice little. The only thing I'm not crazy about, but I know why they do it, because they like to run firewall software and net analyzation, right? Net analysis. Is it has 2. Let me go down to mini PC cam. It's got 2 Ethernet ports. People swear by that, but to me it's a waste, because I'm never using it. I don't run. I have a hardware firewall. I don't need software firewall. Some people just like it. They like to run it. Then it's got a bunch of, you know, a couple of HDMI ports, a bunch of USB ports, and those are USB 3. And then the same on the front. USB on the front, a USB-C on the front, and then a headphone jack out for audio. Most of the time you're going to be running the audio out of the thing. But again, it's a nice solid little unit. You can see it pulls the air from the bottom. and shoots it out the back. You can see you see the fins? Maybe not. Just right? No. God damn it. God effing damn it. There you go. Anyway, I'm looking forward to, hold on, let me get this out of here. Oh. I'm looking forward to firing that up. It showed up today. I got a 4K monitor coming for it. So, I said a 6 or an 8 core version of those. One of those would be way more powerful. Yeah, that's actually a 10 core with 12 threads. 10 core, 12 thread. What tone color is that? Oh, it's all that. Have a good one, Vamps. Speaking of tech unrelated to guitars, you have a security. Of course I do. But I don't get subscription. There's a company on Amazon that I'll go. What the hell was the name? I'll figure it out for next week. I'll tell you next week. But I use this one. It's all wired though. It's not wireless. So get ready to drill holes to the side of your house. I had to do that to get the wires from the outside to the inside. So just keep that in mind. What is this again? That is a little mini PC by a B-Link. And I am looking forward to checking it out. It should be quite the screamer. If you look at the, like, just for an example, like how fast the hard drive can, like, process information, like how fast can it pull data off and put data down. That one from last year, that mini PC from last year, can do about 1,800 megs per second, which is really good. I mean, for the longest time, we were stuck at 550 megs a second for years. And it finally went to, and most of the mini PCs last year were stuck at that, about 550 megs per second. But that one used the new tech, the new NVMe. So it ran at 1,800, right? More than triple the speed of the prior fastest you could go. This one can do about 7,100, a little over 7,000 megs per second. So, like triple the speed of the 1,800 and then some. Oop. Oh, I can hear that. Where'd it go? Where is it? Oh, yeah. Hold on. There it is. How well will this handle dust? Well, it's funny you should say that. It would rip right through them, and same with THU. If you compare, like I use a 10th gen i5, which at the time I thought was a pretty smoking processor. And that 10th gen i5, you know, this is a 12th gen i3. Just in those 2 years, there was enough competition from AMD that it really had to step it up. Intel sort of did okay in 10th gen. They got really criticized for 11th gen, and then when this came out, 12th gen, they really changed how fast their crap went. Like, especially like single core. It's like 53% faster on single core. So for each core, it's like 50% faster. It's like much faster than a 10th gen i5, even though it's an i3. So, you know, I paid a lot of money to put that freaking i5 system together. You know, by the time I bought the case and the RAM and everything, again, it was 2021, and everybody was stuck at home still, and computer prices had shot up because people were at home, bored out of their tits and making computers, you know, building PCs. So there was a run on those products. But still, it's like you just look what, since then to now, it's like 50% faster on single and multi-core and costs $259, probably a third of what I paid, maybe even a quarter of what I paid by the time you add up all those parts I put together, it quickly gets from, you know, you're at 450, and the next thing you know, you're at 650, and the next thing you know, you're at 850, and you're like, oh my God, am I pumping money into this friggin' thing? Oh, you could easily run the amp simulators. It would do really good with certain VST effects, because certain VST effects, the wrapper is only single processor. So they choke out because they can't, you know, you want really good single core performance. Did you know Jackson made a replica of the Jack Butler? I think I covered it here, didn't I? I think Bobby bought one. Didn't I have the Jack Butler here? I think I did. You think Spark will ever create a PC modeler? I don't know. I think there's too much money in iOS for them to ignore that. And they kind of want to be, they want to be either iOS or hardware or, you know, and that's pretty much it, iOS and hardware. Even during COVID, there's PCs where 200, 400 more. No, I know. I mean, like literally 259. And it's got 24 gigs of DDR5. It's got a half a terabyte, and the drive is you know, running. The drive in this, I'm sure, is going to be slow, but the slot is PCI 4.0. So you could put like a top one in it. The reviews I saw, the guy was ripping through stuff at over 7 gigs per second. So, you know, I'd say the only downside is that the Ethernet is only 1 gig. And at this point, I'm expecting 2.5 gigabits. That Morphine from last year is a 2.5 gigabit. You know, everybody's going to 2.5 gigabit now. We can change guitars one more time if you want. Does it have an M.2 slot? Of course it does. It's got multiples. If you didn't need Wi-Fi, you could pull the Wi-Fi card out. That's in an M.2 slot as well, and populate that with a, you know, what they do is they put the Wi-Fi card in there, but you could pull that out and put a storage in there. I think it's got 3 M.2 slots. Certainly has 2. 3 if you take out the Wi-Fi. You know. And they're PCI Gen 4 on a PCI 4.0 slot. So, you know, again, you're talking 7 gigs per second. Now, I didn't get a Gibson this year. These are guitars I got this year. That's the whole point. Doug Kramer. Ba-do-do. Yeah, exactly. Where the hell is that PRS double neck? They just made a new PRS double neck. They were showing it on Instagram. Looks expensive. I say it's some pretty good tune. Back in the YouTube days, it was cool when Gibson would send someone a guitar for review. I don't know that Gibson sent out too many. Sweetwater did, though. Sweetwater. So it was like that you would get a Gibson, but was it from Gibson, directly from Gibson? Yeah, those are that was the good logo. The block. The 3D block. Right there. I'm always amazed at how clean that you know, that sharp point hadn't been just absolutely ruined at some point. They usually, you know, even the Jackson, way more dented. And this is an 86, and the Jackson's a 2001. Thanks again, SFB, for the handhelds. Oh yeah, did you get that? You get that going? Gibson really royally effed up the Mesa amp. I don't know if they messed up the amp. I think the rollout didn't go that clean. I feel like it, right? You can't set it too high or it squeals. Oh, really? Like an internal squealing? Yeah, that's a mistake. They went over well? Oh, good. Other members of the From Boston family also great musicians? No, not really. I mean, my kids did play instruments in school, but they never really kept up with it. You know, I'd say my son has friends that are way more into it, and you can just tell. You can just tell the kids that are into it and the kids that aren't. New. You think Gibson's going to go the way of Marshall? Well, we'll see. This is like their first big sort of gaffe. So I just think that, you know, give them time to work it out. They'll come up with new processes. You know. did the tenderloin again this year. I thought it came out great. The only downside to it was freaking huge. And so that's why it was so expensive. But I thought it came out pretty good. What there? That was cooked on the outdoors on the grill. You run it on high heat for a little bit to brown it up, and then you run it on low heat for a long time to cook it. And I thought it came out pretty damn good. It was tender, let me tell you. They name it right. We had another. I have another. Yeah. Check this out. My brother-in-law works at a restaurant, and they were cleaning out like the freezer at the end of the year. They had these frozen boxes of lobster, shelled lobster, and they're for the lobster rolls that they sell. And he said, the lobster rolls aren't back on the menu until the spring. So even though they weren't past their expiration date, they will be, and they just wanted to clean it out at the end of the year. So they cleaned out, I want to say it's, they're 4-pound boxes or 8-pound boxes. And inside is, I think they're 4-pound, like shrink, like bags, right? They have the lobster in the bag, and they're completely shrunk down, and they're frozen. They're out of Canada, they're out of New Brunswick, and they have very specific instructions. It's fully cooked, and they have very specific instructions on how to warm it up so you don't dry it out. And we did like lobster mac and cheese and lobster rolls with it, and we had for everyone at Christmas, and that was what was left over from one of the packs, and we still have another pack frozen. And that was 5 adults, so I mean it was loaded with friggin'. It was so good. The only thing is that if you're not careful, you'll dry it out. Yeah, vacuum packed. Thank you. I couldn't think of it. Thank you, vacuum packed. Yeah. It was really good. I mean, it's from the restaurant. He said that cost them that those aren't cheap. But they just basically claim that they threw them out. Spoiled, right? Spoiled food at a restaurant isn't like that crazy. You got a 25-pound crab for Christmas. Oh, nice. Yeah, lobster mac and cheese. So it's pretty good. And you could just see taking that and like just putting it in like a little, like taking a few pieces and putting it in like a little shallow dish with, some butter and heating it very slowly, like in the microwave but it has to be submerged in water or it'll dry out. You don't want to cook it again. It's already cooked. You just want to warm it. And then you add the butter and throw that over some, a couple of English muffins with some poached eggs and make yourself a little lobster Benedict with some hollandaise. Yeah, no, it was so much friggin' lobster. We're like, this is. You think, you look at it because it's vacuum packed and it's frozen. You don't think, but they do that so it doesn't take up a lot of room in the freezer. Once you start taking it out and you cannot thaw that out, they say it must be thawed in refrigeration. They like put it in the refrigerator 2 days before you're ready to serve it or you're ready to work with it. They're like, you cannot thaw this in any other way other than in a refrigerated environment. Okay, so we had to do that. You got to follow the steps, but I tell you, it was pretty freaking good. I was making myself some little mini lobster rolls, and my wife had cut up some chives, so you threw a little butter, right? You grill the bun, little brioche roll. You throw a little bit of the warm, buttery lobster meat on there, drizzle a little bit more butter on there, and some chive. Freaking gourmet. Like total gourmet. Perch strips on a skewer and deep fried as a poor man's lobster. Sure. Eggs, that's for uber rich people. Unless you talk to the egg farmers. When that all happened, the egg farmers were like, yeah, we don't know why they're so expensive. We're not getting paid anymore. That was the egg distributors. A lot fewer companies. They're like, we're thinking of raising it to this. Is everybody cool with that? They're like, yeah, we're cool. We're cool. I know I have to do an SFB cooking show, right? Exactly. Lobster. This is my mild allergy to crustaceans going 20 thumps is the last thing I miss out of them. Shrimp and crab was my thing. Yeah. Yeah, I have friends. I'm always shocked at my friends that are like, yeah, I don't do the seafood. I'm like not fish or oysters or nothing. They're like, nothing. Don't do any seafood. I'm like, really? But you grew up in Boston. I mean, if there was I could understand if you're from the Midwest. You're like, well, I didn't really grow up on that. So, I'm just not used to it, or those flavors are foreign to me. Sure, I get it. But you grow up in New England, and you're like, yeah, I'm not going to seafood. It's like growing up in Texas going, yeah, I don't really like steak. Like, what? What do you, what? Steve, what is a good studio monitor speaker for the money? I think the best value out there, I don't even know if can you see that? You can kind of see the box right there. They're not studio monitors. All right, let me just get that out of the way right up front. But you'd be hard-pressed to find a set of speakers that sound as good as these. If you want flat response speakers, and all that stuff, just get a set of like KRKs, like a set of KRK Rocket 5s or whatever. But I think, my personal opinion is the Klipsch 2.1 set by Klipsch Media, the what do they call it? The THX, right? The THX approved. Those sound incredible, and they run about $129 on Amazon. So, I think, let me just triple check that they have them up there. Hold on one sec. Because I recently found a box of these that I had never opened. I want to say, yeah, here they are. These are them. The only reason why I wouldn't buy these, the only reason why is because they're shipped by General King. I want shipped from Amazon, right? But that's what you want. It's a big, fat, friggin' subwoofer and these two speakers. And if you notice on that right speaker, the right knob is the volume knob. The left knob is the bass subwoofer dial-in. So you can dial the bass in. And they have a dot where they tune it for THX. I think at 116, you're not even coming close to the quality of the sound of these things by almost any other maker. I just think these kick ass. And I have one set in the attic, two sets down here, and I have a fourth, so that's three sets. My daughter has a set going, and I have a set brand new in a box that I'm probably going to set up for that gaming machine. Because I friggin' love them. They're just so cheap. You know, you're not going to get something, but I would wait. If I was going to get those, I would wait until you can get them from ships by Amazon. That way, if there's a return, you can just return it through Amazon. You don't have a problem, right? Returning it to a third-party seller is always a colossal pain in the ass. All right. Hey, it is 9:02. It is time to skidoo. Happy New Year to everybody. I hope you have a wonderful New Year's Eve. Next Saturday, we can talk about our Dick Clock rockin' New Year's Eve, about how we fell asleep on the couch at 10:30. And there you go. Guys, have a wonderful New Year's. Have a wonderful week. Thanks for everybody for hanging out. Super extra special thanks to anyone who contributed. I always appreciate that. Welcome to my new members. Welcome aboard. And Brofist to my mod squad. Hashtag Brofist. Hashtag mod squad. Hashtag Ben Coombs has been found. And we will do it all again in a week. I'll see you there then. And until then, have a wonderful week. And enjoy your New Year's. And there you have it. No. You rock. And then the Guitar of the Week starts back up January 13th. Oh, date to look forward to. There you go. No, you rock. Oh, thanks, B-Mac. Thank you. Very much so. Thank you. Very much appreciated. All right. Yeah, Dick Clack. You gotta dig them up. All right. No, you rock. Have a wonderful week. I'll see you next week. Happy New Year. We've said it all. All right.